Hello students, today we will discuss on the elastic collision in two dimensions. What is elastic collision? Elastic collision is the collision under which the momentum before the collision and after the collision is conserved, and the kinetic energy before the collision and after the collision is conserved. So under the elastic collision, momentum and kinetic energy both are conserved. So we will discuss the elastic collision in two dimensions. So let us assume, suppose there is a body and its mass is m1, and this is the another body, its mass is m2. This body have the initial velocity u1 and the another body have the initial velocity u2, and their collision is not the head-on collision, so that is why their impact parameter is not zero, so that is why they will move in the different direction. So after the collision, suppose this is the initial direction where both the bodies are moving. After the collision, suppose the first body is moving in that direction, first body is moving in that direction and the second body is moving in that direction m2, with their final velocity is v1 and its final velocity is v2, and making some angle theta and phi with the initial direction of their initial velocities. So we will use the conservation of momentum, and we will use the conservation of kinetic energy to solve that problem and to find the velocities of v1 and v2, or the final velocities. Okay, so suppose let us assume this is the origin and this is so according to the conservation of kinetic energy, according to the conservation of kinetic energy is conserved under the elastic collision. So that is why initial kinetic energy half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square. After the collision, their final velocities becomes v1 and v2. So half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So this is the equation number 1. Now we will use the conservation of linear momentum. The momentum before the collision is always equal to the momentum after the collision. So let us assume the momentum, conservation of momentum in x direction. Conservation of momentum in x direction. So let us assume that this direction is x direction. So initial momentum m1 u1, momentum of the first body, plus m2 u2, momentum of the second body. Okay, which is equal to the momentum in the x direction. So we have to take the component of v1 and v2 in x direction. So this component of v1 is equal to v1 cos theta, and component of v2 in x direction v2 cos theta. So these are the velocities in x direction. So we will write m1 v1 cos theta, so this is phi actually, plus m2 v2 cos phi. So this is equation number 2. Now conservation of momentum in a y direction. In y direction, the initial velocity component in the y direction have no component. So that is why the initial momentum before the collision in y direction is 0. But after the collision, the bodies have the velocities v1 and v2, which have some component in y direction also. So along the direction of y, that is v1 sine theta, and this is v2 sine phi. So we can write 0 is equal to m1 v1 sine theta plus, actually it will be minus because this is the positive direction, so this is the another component in downward direction, so we will write minus m2 v2 sine phi. So this is first equation, this is second equation, and this is third equation. Okay, so in that situation we have the unknown quantities are unknown quantities m1 mass of the body, m2 u1 u2 v1 v2 theta and phi. So in that situation we have lots of unknown physical quantities m1 m2 u1 u2 v1 v2 and theta and phi. So and here we have three equations only. Equation 1, conservation of energy, kinetic energy. Equation 2, conservation of linear momentum in x direction. Equation 3, conservation of linear momentum in y direction. So that is why we need additional information about that collision. We need the additional amount information, maybe the angle theta phi, maybe the relation of m1 m2, say that m1 is equal to m2, or we should have the relation of v1 v2, any kind of relation we require to completely solve that situation. Otherwise we cannot solve all the parameters, all the physical quantities in elastic collision in two dimensions. So we need additional information to solve the complete elastic collision in two dimensions. Now we will discuss on one special case, in which special case both the bodies have the equal masses and the second body is at rest. So for the special case, m1 is equal to m2 and second body is at rest. So for that special case, the first equation will becomes u2 is equal to 0 and m1 is equal to m2. So that is why it will become u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. So let us suppose this equation is 4, and about the second equation, m1 u1 plus m2 u2. So this equation will become m1 u1 is equal to m1 v1 cos theta minus plus m1 v2 cos phi, because mass is equal. So let us assume the mass is m1. So this equation will become u1 is equal to v1 cos theta plus v2 cos phi. So this equation number 5. And about the third equation, m1 is equal to m2, so it will become 0 is equal to v1 sin theta minus v2 sin phi. So this is equation number 6. Now we will square equation number 5 and equation number 6 and add them. So u1 square is equal to square of equation number 5, v1 cos theta plus v2 cos phi and its square, and square of v1 sin theta and add them, minus v2 sin phi. So u1 square is equal to v1 square cos square theta plus v2 square cos square phi plus 2v1 v2 cos theta cos phi plus the square of this equation v1 square sin square theta plus v2 square sin square phi minus 2v1 v2 sin theta sin phi. So v1 square cos square theta and this equation v1 square sin square sec theta. So these two terms will become v1 square only. Okay. v2 square cos square phi plus v2 square sin square phi. So again these two terms also becomes v2 square only. Okay. And 2v1 v2 cos theta cos phi minus 2v1 v2. So let us take minus 2v1 v2. So this equation will become 2v1 v2. So in this equation cos theta cos phi minus sin theta sin phi. So u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square plus 2v1 v2 cos theta plus phi. This is the formula of cos theta plus phi. So suppose this equation is 7. Okay, now compare. Compare equation number 4 with equation number 7. u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. Here u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square plus some additional term 2v1 v2 cos theta plus phi. So it means if these equations are correct, then this term should be 0. So we will write cos theta plus phi is equal to 0. It means theta plus phi cos is equal to pi by 2. So it means if two bodies which have the identical mass or equal mass and the second body is at rest, after the elastic collision they will move with the angle of 90 degree to each other. So theta plus phi is equal to pi by 2 always. This is one special case. Now we will discuss on the inelastic collision. Inelastic collision is the collision in which momentum is conserved before the collision and after the collision, but the kinetic energy is not conserved. There is a loss of kinetic energy after the collision. It means after the collision, the total kinetic energy is always less than the initial kinetic energy. This is known as the inelastic collision. And what is perfectly inelastic collision? Perfectly inelastic collision. Perfectly inelastic collision is the collision in which after the collision the bodies stick to each other and move with a common velocity. This is called the perfectly inelastic collision, and the final velocities after the collision is equal. So this is about the perfectly inelastic collision. We will discuss on the perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, let us assume there are two bodies and suppose its mass is m1 and it have any arbitrary velocity. Suppose its velocity is u1. It may have this is the vector form, so it may have the any direction x, y, z, and the another body, its velocity is u2, and suppose it is in the this is the vector form, so we can take as a one dimensional collision, we can take as this two dimensional collision, or we can take it as a three dimensional collision, because we have taken in the vector form. After the collision, suppose after the collision, suppose m1 and m2, they will stick to each other for the perfectly inelastic collision and move with a common velocity, and that velocity is suppose v1, not v1, only v, because their common velocity is v. So first of all we will use the conservation of momentum only, according to conservation of momentum. Total momentum, total linear momentum before the collision, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to after the collision m1 v plus m2 v. So their common velocity m1 u1 plus m2 u2 vector is equal to v m1 plus m2. So v is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2. So using that formula we can calculate the final velocity in perfectly inelastic collision. V is equal to m1 u1 in vector form plus m2 u2 in vector form divided by m1 plus m2. If we take only in x direction, then we can take Vx is equal to m1 u1 x m2 u2 x divided by m1 plus m2. So this is actually the three-dimensional equation in the vector form. And in perfectly inelastic collision, there is a loss of kinetic energy. Now we will discuss loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision, or any type of inelastic collision. There is a loss of kinetic energy. We will calculate the loss of kinetic energy. Loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision in 1D. For the simplicity, we will take only the loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision in one dimension only. So we can write this equation again for one dimension only. V is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2. Okay. Before the collision, the initial kinetic energy of two particles, suppose m1 and m2, in one dimension, their velocity is u1, the velocity is initial velocity is u2. After the collision, they will stick to each other, m1 m2, and move with a common velocity v, and this is v is given by this formula. So we will use the initial kinetic energy, K initial is equal to half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square. Final kinetic energy after the collision, K final is equal to half m1 v square plus half m2 v square, or we can take the v as a common, so we can directly write m1 plus m2 v square. Okay, there is a loss of kinetic energy in inelastic collision, so that is why we will write k initial minus k final, because initial kinetic energy is always greater than the final kinetic energy, because there is a loss of kinetic energy. So we will write half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square minus half m1 plus m2 v square. Now we will place there the value of v, common velocity m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2. So k initial minus k final is equal to half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square minus half m1 plus m2, and using that equation m1 u1 plus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2 and its whole square. Okay, if we solve this equation, complete equation, by the squaring and taking the LCM and that's all, then we will get this final answer k initial minus k final is equal to half m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 and u1 minus u2 whole square. So we will get the final answer. The loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision is half m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 and u1 minus u2 whole square. And in the right hand side we can say, we can see that this term is always positive, because the mass can never be negative, so this term is always positive, and whatever the velocity is u1 u2, but here is the square, so that is why this term is also positive. It means the complete right hand side is always positive, so we can write k initial minus k final is always greater than 0. It means k initial minus k final, k initial is greater than k final, or we can say k final is less than k initial. It means there is a loss of kinetic energy in perfectly inelastic collision. K final is always less than k initial. So with the loss of kinetic energy, final kinetic energy is always less than the initial kinetic energy, and this loss of kinetic energy will be in the form of heat and sound, because after the collision they will strike to each other making some sound, and they will heat up to each other, so they will reduce their kinetic energy in the form of heat and sound.